You mentioned right at the top of the show the Asante Samuel Jr. interception that was in his hands. And I couldn't help but think last night back to Super Bowl 42 when Asante Samuel Sr. had the 17-0 clinching interception in his hands just moments before the David Tyree helmet catch after the Eli Manning Houdini escape to deliver the football. That game would have been over if Dad holds on to the football. So at least, and I'm not trying to be snarky here, at least there can be a meaningful conversation about how to deal with it and move forward. Now, Asante Sr.'s catch was a lot easier. I mean, it was a diving attempt. It would have been a great catch by Asante Jr. if he'd held on to it, and it looked like he had, and it was one of those, well, the ball hit the ground, he didn't have full possession, they reversed it via replay review, but that moment felt like the dagger. We're midway through the third quarter, it's 17-7, and the Chargers would have had the ball right there at the 35, up 10, and who knows what would have happened after that, but it felt like as he was catching that ball, or as the case may be not catching that ball, that was it. Early, turn out the lights, the party's over.
Two comments on that. Look, the play, it wasn't that he, that he almost made a miracle catch. It's that he missed the first one.
Yes.
Show that one more time. The ball is right in his hands. The ball is right in his hands. The diving part of it doesn't, I don't know. To me, it's like he had an easy interception. He bobbled it, and then he tried to recover. That's an easy interception, Mike.
I was trying to be nice, I guess. It was just like what Dad did.
And the other thing I would say is, I was not sure about that replay. I really wasn't. It sure didn't pass the sniff test as, absolutely obvious, that the ball was used, or that he used the ground to help him secure the ball. I don't know. I didn't think there was enough there to overturn it, but I know
I agree with you.
Minority.
No. Here, I agree with you. Here's the problem I was having at the time, and this gets into my second half experience watching the game on Amazon. At some point, my TV, which was 15 feet away from an unimpeded router, kicking off fiber-based internet at high speeds, and I never have an issue. So it wasn't a me problem. It was an Amazon problem. It was buffering every 3 seconds. And I can't tell you how frustrating it is to watch a football game when it buffers for 3 seconds and plays for 3 seconds, and buffers for 3 seconds and plays for 3 seconds. And then I was doing the whole trying to fast forward, catch up. So I actually missed when they came back and said that the pass was an incompletion. But Peter, I agree with you. And this is why I hate the rule that it's okay for the ball to hit the ground as long as the act of it hitting the ground doesn't assist. How about we just say the ball can't hit the ground? Let's go back to Bert Emanuel in 1999 and say, hey, Bert, tough crap. The ball shouldn't touch the ground. And this isn't an old man yells at cloud take for a change. I think there's something sacred about keeping the ball from touching the ground. And if the ball touches the ground, it's not a catch. Then we don't have to get into this interpretation of, well, it did touch the ground, but the ground didn't help him secure the catch. Or he had possession. The touching the ground was just incidental. If it touches the ground before you have secured possession, it's not a catch. Why can't that just be the rule, Peter?
Okay, Mike, it's the rule.
I know.
Look, the only thing I know last night when I watched that, and I did not have the buffering problem on the laptop. But when I watched that, I said to myself, even though I think it was, I forget whether it was Al or whether it was Kirk, one of those guys, said, well, this is probably going to be overturned. I said, I would not overturn this. There is not indisputable visual evidence that the ground assisted him in making this catch, or he secured it against the ground. Did it look like there was a decent to good chance that it did? Yes. But you tell me there's indisputable visual evidence that he didn't catch that ball and the ball just happened to hit the ground while he caught it. That's kind of how I saw it. But, you know, again, they overturned it. My bigger issue with replay, Mike, is that it's not being used for what it was put in to fix, and that is to correct the obvious and indisputably wrong calls.
Hey,
that play right there was not indisputably wrong. I mean, I think whether it was 50-50, 60-40, it was close. And you know, to overturn a call like that is not why replay was put in the NFL.
Amen. You're preaching to the choir. The 50 drunks in a bar standard, as Mike Holmgren articulated it when they brought replay back years ago. It should be something where we all know immediately this is a mistake that needs to be rectified, and not something that entails a frame-by-frame review like the Zapruder film to figure out whether or not the ball touched the ground in a manner that allowed Asante Samuel Jr. to make the catch more easily. Again, it's a cleaner rule if you just can't let the ball touch the ground. It's a far cleaner replay standard if you say it has to be so obvious to anyone in a bar, and I envied the people in the bar last night because they didn't have the buffering problem because they were watching the game via DirecTV.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.